us old people, we give advice when we get too old to be a bad example. Now think about that one for a little bit. And this is thoughts while thinking, and these opinions are mine. And old age is not bad when you consider the alternative. Oh Lordy, we're living in some strange times. This goes back to, back in the old Greek days, 3 or 4,000 years ago, and we're still living in those strange times. Maybe they're just getting a little stranger. Think about that. We've been doing this for a long time. And old people give good advice that compensates for their inability to be a bad example. Well, maybe I've got too old to be a bad example, but I can still give that advice. And we just look older, we just move on, we don't feel older. And the old guy here, I can be still a good example, so I'm not totally useless. Now think about it, I can move forward. And the world can be amazing when you're slightly strange. Well, maybe I'm a little more slightly strange than most people, I don't know. But the strangest thing about life is this is the strangest life I've ever known. And of course, I've never known another life, I guess. I have no idea. But, we come out and make our own rules, or we're going to be a slave to everybody else's rules. So look at what we've got going on today. Look at all the rules that we have. And are we a slave to all of the federal government? Well, it appears that way to me, because we've got to start making our own rules. And weird is just a side effect of awesome, and I like to think I'm awful weird. I'll think about that. Put that in there and smoke it a little bit. And there's nothing so strange and unbelievable that has not been said by another philosopher. Now think about that. I'm not a philosopher, but maybe I am unbelievable. I don't know. But anyway, there are certain times it occurs in the universe that comes by and makes those strange things that makes it appear like a practical joke for us at nobody's expense except mine. But I think about that sometimes. And George Carlin was a friend of mine, and we had a few episodes together. And he says that he likes people that are individuals that don't take, and there's no I in team. So we got to be an individual. We got to do our own thing. We got to think our own thoughts. We can't replicate everybody else's thoughts. And I kind of miss the old sleazy times in Times Square when we run across those strange people. I don't know about that, but anyway, they wasn't as strange as what they are today, I don't believe. And anyway, old Harry Truman, President Truman, said there wasn't much difference between playing the piano in a whorehouse than there was to be in Congress and the government. Now think about it. Well, I'm beginning to think he was right of him. And then, the last couple of years, it's kind of been a special trip when we get to get out and go to the grocery store. And, think about that. Think about all those stuff we got going on and all the bad examples that we got going. And, time is strange, but life is much stranger, twice as strange. Now think about life. Oh my. And if at first you don't succeed, destroy the evidence. Now think about it. we probably destroyed a lot of evidence through the time. And if it first succeeds, you got to move forward with that evidence and hide it under something. And as Mark Twain said, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the fight in the dog that counts. And you got to get that fight in yourself and get moving forward and be an individual and think about it. Now this may be some bad advice, but that's what old folks do, is give bad advice maybe. And people like the illusion of choice. Now they think they're kind of making you think you got a choice, but you really don't have a choice. Think about it. Think about all the rules and stuff. You don't have a choice. And there's movements and thoughts, and between those thoughts there's where the action is, and that's what we keep a close to watch on, and it modifies and it incorporates into what we're doing and thinking. Now think about it. And people like the illusion of choice. It gives them comfort in these strange times. Think about it. I'll repeat that. I'm just completely repeating it, but that's important. And life is too short to wake up in the morning with regrets. So love people and treat what you do is right. Forgive the ones that you don't believe is wrong, and just keep on moving. You just gotta forgive and forget. You don't live and forget. You forget to forget. Oh my! And think very hard about the same problem for several hours a day. It gives you a headache, and it gives you a strange feeling inside. And I guess it can cause a breakdown. I've never had a breakdown, but I've sure had some strange feelings. Well, no amount of regrets that change the amount of anxiety and bad times of yesterday. You can't do anything about it. And any amount of regret, just to have a gratitude for the changes in the past experiences and the lessons that you learn. That's what we've got to do. And the old cowboy wisdom, it says, confidence is that feeling before you understand the situation. Well, I felt a lot of that confidence in my time. Now think about it. And we believe that tomorrow will be better so we can bear the hardships of today. Now think about it. Think about how often that is. And, you know, the old Indian proverb about we go to the happy hunting ground where there's green grass and streams with plenty of fish and a tree to lay under, and the treat life better. That's the happy hunting ground. That's where we're headed to someday. And just because you're strong enough to handle the pain don't mean that you deserve it. Now think about it. And the reason that we're in strange times is we've combated the fate and seemed like we thought we had won, but now then we're looking at it and it's all disillusion. And the faith couldn't save it, so we got to work on it a little bit harder. We got to put actions to it. And if idiots could fly, this place wouldn't even need an airport. We'd all be flying around. Now think about it. And old age comes at a bad time when you finally know everything. Well, you forget it. Well, anyway, we spend your life doing strange things with weird people, and you're going to have a good life. And I've had a good life, and it's not strange and weird off. I'm just different. I'm just different from you. I'm not all that weird. And a wise man asked, what is anger? And he got this beautiful answer. He said it's a punishment we give ourselves for somebody else's mistake. Now think about it. So don't be angry. And we get back to this old cowboy wisdom, never drop your gun to hug a grizzly. And I think we are in a place right now where we've dropped our gun and we're hugging a grizzly. We are thinking about it. And your mind is where you spend most of your time, so make sure it's a good place. So keep your mind clean and clear so you live good. And I'm just biding my time. And this is Thoughts While Thinking, and it's adios amigos, and we will see you on the flip side.